What's going on, guys? And welcome to a room that I never film in, just because, well, there's no reason to. It's just empty. There's a boat. Don't ask me about that. It's just an empty room for storage, random shit. It's my spare room on the upstairs. I never film in here. I never even really come in here. I have nothing to do with this room. It pretty much is just a storage room. But whatever. It's my room, and that's the point. Today marks 2 years of me being a homeowner. I bought my house 2 years ago today, which is kind of crazy to think about. I wasn't really thinking about it at all. A few weeks ago, I thought the anniversary date had to be coming up soon, and I finally remembered today is literally the day that I signed, the 10,000 stacks of paper and moved in. So really, really crazy that it's been 2 years. I've been able to do this for 2 years. I've been able to sustain myself for 2 years. Haven't been able to do anything like exaggerated or, too fancy. It's not even a fancy house at all. It's just a house that I was lucky enough to find at a decent price, at a decent time, and find a decent realtor and was able to go through the process of doing it. So, it's nothing spectacular. It's nothing great, but it's mine. Well, it's the bank's right now, but I'm paying on it. No. But it's hard sometimes to feel proud of yourself or feel like you're accomplishing things in life or feel like you're making any progress sometimes. And sometimes I think that we focus a lot on the negative, and I know that I do. And I think about all the things that I want that I still don't have. And I think about, a lot of things that bring me down. I have self-confidence issues that I've always had, and all that kind of weighs on you. And sometimes you forget that things like this are pretty cool. I mean, it's expensive. A lot of things have broken down recently, that I've had to fix, but that's part of the process. It's part of the experience, right, of being a homeowner. And I think it's a better option than, anything else that was presented at the time, or trying to find roommates, or trying to rent, or trying to do a bunch of things that I've done plenty of times in the past and have not worked out. And, it's hard to remind myself sometimes that I should be proud of myself, not only for being able to buy a house, but being able to maintain for 2 years by myself. I don't have any help. I don't have any extra income. I don't have, any extra support there. It's all been me. Every single penny that's gone into my house has pretty much been mine. My mom, when I moved in, she bought me my TV entertainment stand. It's my housewarming gift. You know what I mean? But everything else in the house, I have done, right? Any maintenance, everything has been all me. And it can be really, really stressful, and it can be overwhelming. But there is a sense of accomplishment that comes with that. There's a sense of pride that comes with that I was able to do this, and nobody can tell me that I couldn't, or, there was nobody, if nobody was there to do it for me, then all the credit is mine, right? And I should be happy about that, and I should be proud about that. And sometimes it's just hard to remember those things because, the stress of everything, or things breaking down, or just some being by yourself, can give you a ton of stress. I wish I had some help. But, I think that I need to remember to be happy and to be proud about myself about things like that, and to focus on that, because where you put your focus is what you feed, is what you make stronger within your mind. Everything kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So the more that you focus on the negative aspects and the more depressing aspects, that becomes your reality. And it's really hard sometimes to remember to focus on the positive things and the things that you did do and the things that you did accomplish, because, years and years before that, that was out of sight. That was inconceivable, right? And you're able to do things over time, with that effort, with that work, with that perseverance, and with that just ability to believe that you can do something. And I think that it all starts with that. And I know that that's really out there for just something as simple as you gave a bank a bunch of your money, and now you're trying to get it back. But it's hard to do, man. It's hard to do in this world, and in this time period, and everything that's going on right now, in the world. Everything seems to be getting harder and harder. Prices are going further and further up, and the distance between, middle class is pretty much now lower class, and you feel it, you know. It's just like, it's something you feel, and it's just like, sometimes it feels like you can never catch up, and like no matter how much better you're doing in life, everything else just gets so much harder and so much more expensive as you try to level up, and it's like you don't feel like you are, you know. But it's also good to remind yourself where you've come from, and the things that you did do. And that's the hardest part. And that's why I'm basically making this video, is because it's a reminder that, like, it is something that you can do. You know, it's something that you guys can do also. It is possible, right? It doesn't have to be, you know, a mansion in the sky. Although one day I will be getting a cabin in the woods somewhere far away from society, and, you know, growing all my own food with my sexy emo wife. But that's besides the point. The main point is, and I'm not going to go into the whole backstory or anything, but like, just to remind people, you know, I tried to do all these different grand gestures of moving, you know, throughout all of my 20s, and trying to find where I really belong and what I should do and where I should fit in. And, you know, I never really found any place, and I still don't really feel like I've quite found it, but I think I'm a lot closer now than I was before. And a lot of that just caused me, you know, a lot of pain, a lot of turmoil, and just being so unbelievably broke that it's just not even funny. I moved across the country a couple of times, actually, and always had to wind up moving back because I just couldn't support myself. I couldn't sustain myself. I remember when I had to move back from Colorado at the end of 2016, it was like the worst, I'd say the second most depressing era of my life, but probably the worst in terms of like failure, the feeling of failure. You know, I came back, I had maybe like nearly $300 in my bank account. That was it. I didn't have anything. I didn't have a car. I didn't have a place to live. Moved back in with my parents at that point. It was really, really disheartening. You know, I was in my like mid-20s, and just, you know, seeing everybody around me doing all these things, and, you know, moving forward with their lives or having families and stuff. And I just was like, fuck, like I'm just nothing right now, you know? And it took a lot of time, man. It took from that time until late 2021, you know, I just went into hardcore saving mode, and I didn't do anything. And I just constantly worked my full-time jobs. I worked, you know, trying to build my YouTube up and everything like that. That didn't even happen until 2019. I finally hit, you know, I couldn't get paid on YouTube until 2019, but I was making videos since 2014. You know, so all that, man. So it was just like, it was just a constant struggle. But the point is, you know, I went from that. I went from just like feeling absolutely defeated and wanting to drive off a bridge and absolutely broke, and feeling the social pressure and social stigma from everything happening in the world. And I didn't have any clue as to how I was going to get out of it or what I was going to do. You know, I wasn't like, oh, YouTube, you know, let me make Berserk videos and this will fix everything. Like, I didn't, you know what I mean? That's not how it went. I just was trying really, really hard, man. And I also recognize, you know, there are things that probably helped me along the way, such as, you know, like the pandemic era was definitely, you know, everyone was inside more, so people were watching videos more, and my channel did grow very, very well during, you know, 2020 and whatnot. So had that not happened, I don't know. You know, there's a lot of factors to throw in there. So I don't really know what was the best contributor and what wasn't. But like, I didn't know, man. And even now, you know, things are very, very hard. Things are very difficult. It's hard having everything on your shoulders, right? It's hard being the only person responsible for everything. You know, responsible for making the money, responsible for trying to fix everything in the house, responsible for taking care of everything, all the cleaning, all the yard work, all the maintenance, you know, all that. And it gets so like, it becomes so much. And I just have to remind myself that I am capable of accomplishing things. I am capable of doing things. And I want you guys to think that too. You know, I want you guys to think that too. If you're in that horrible spot, if you're in like a deep, horrible, depressive spot, if you have no money, if you have no car, if you have no idea what you want to do, I've been there, man. I've been there multiple times. And there's no clear fire way to get out of it, but the only way too is to try. If you give up, you know you'll never get there. But if you keep trying shit, eventually, and it's a slow process. And I think that during that process too, you know, you have to change your mindset. You have to see the little victories. You have to understand where you are right now and where you want to be, and just do everything one little step at a time, and not to give up. And that's the hardest part. It's not giving up, because there's so many times that you want to, and there's so many times that you don't feel it's worth it. And even now, I have those moments. Like, is this like, why am I doing all this? You know what I mean? It's just like, why am I, oh God, now I got to get this tree cut down, and now I got to do this. It's like, what's the point? You know, it's just, what's the point of it all? But I was able to do this for 2 years, and I wonder where I'll be, 2 years from now. And I wonder where I'll be 5 years from now. And it's that kind of curiosity too that kind of like keeps you going a little bit, because it's like, I was able to do this, so what else can I do? So, yeah, I don't know. To wrap this up, not make this video too long, this isn't really meant to be a video about like, oh, yay, me. It's mostly a video about like understanding that you can still progress, and you can do things, and you can accomplish things, and it is possible. And no matter where you are and what you're doing right now, and how low that you've sunk, you don't need to stay there. And it's not a linear path. It's not just like a flip of a switch and, oh, things are better now. You're always going to struggle, but you get stronger as time goes on, and you get better at dealing with those struggles. You get better at dealing with stress. I always say that like, it doesn't get better. You just get stronger, right? And then you reap the benefits of that strength as time goes on. And I think that's the point. So yeah, hopefully you guys get something out of this. I don't know. I just wanted to go on a tangent. Just something I was thinking about today. To be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself for what you have done, and understand that you can still do more. So that's basically my message I want to leave with you guys. Thanks for watching this video. It's just a vlog, just me talking, just me rambling. Nothing too profound. Just a short ginger man in an empty room, drinking from a Dragon Ball Z cup in his 30s, reflecting on life. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.